Do you trust me? Well, some of you do. Maybe by my reputation, maybe because I'm too far away to harm you. If you watch this virtually, you are even safer. But most probably, you trust me because trust is natural and beneficial. We can even prove it mathematically. Trust lowers transaction costs, fuels connections, and it is a very glue of our society. In fact, trust may have been so important for our survival that it is imprinted in our genome. My name is Marina. I run a Silicon Valley venture capital firm based on technology, community, and trust. We invest in AI and spend lots of hours talking to experts, trying to understand technology, and we see that our society has some serious trust issues. Just 3 years ago, I myself hit the lowest point of trust in my life, feeling I could never trust anyone again. Today, I'm here to share some practical things we can do to restore the trust. But first, I have to confess, speaking at TED was never on my bucket list. It was the dream of my husband. He was the one to shine on conferences, giving interviews, and I always felt that I was not good enough to speak publicly and to share my ideas. But I'm here. Life put me on stage, and I trust it. From the moment we enter this world, we depend entirely on others. We have to trust that someone is going to feed us, shelter us, and teach us. We trust blindly. We are open and maybe naive. But then life happens, and trust gets broken. Like many, I started collecting my trust issues early. I grew up in a small town in Russia in the 90s where all institutions collapsed. My father, an entrepreneur, cautioned me to be quiet about his business because it was unsafe to share that your family had some money. He even told me a story about the girl who opened the door to strangers and then was found dead. Survival required not trusting strangers. Witnessing corruption taught me to distrust authorities. Later, going through miscarriage after miscarriage made me lose trust in my own body. Ultimate betrayal came from a close friend and a co-founder. My husband and I started the company with him and poured our soul and heart into it for years, going through ups and downs only to have it taken from us. The backstep cuts deep. I was consumed by self-doubt and all these negative voices in my head. My trust was broken, and I put an armor trying to resolve my trust issues with control. Control. Being closed, trying to do everything by myself, planning out all possible scenarios, and just trying to control every aspect of my life. Who here also tries to control everything? How is it working for you? It took me a while to understand that control was not helping me. It was my prison. And to progress, I have to learn how to trust again. From the time humans live in caves, trust was built around close relationships. Trust was local. You knew everyone, and reputation meant everything. You knew who was naughty and who was nice. And if someone acted badly multiple times, they could get expelled from the tribe or just eaten. Then people moved from caves to cities, and the number of interactions grew so much that the spoken reputation had to be replaced with rule-based institutions. Things like legal contracts, government, regulations, cards. It enabled more collaboration even between strangers, fostering economic growth. institutional trust was growing until very recently. I have to say, we are now in a trust deficit. People no longer trust government, media, banks, and the worst decline is in developed countries. Less than 20% of people in the United States trust the government, and I am wondering why. When humanity went online, technology provided the platform for anyone to share anything, even false information. And we are given easily our trust without to occasional TikToks, without verifying sources. This breaks trust. On a larger scale, lack of trust affects three aspects. The first one is economic efficiency. Every transaction you made without trust actually exacts a toll on your resources, time, and energy, because you just have to validate other people's intentions. What do they mean? What actually they have undercover? The second one is social cohesion. Without trust as a social glue, it is very difficult to build families, groups, organizations. And finally, lack of trust damages new value creation. When trust exists in a group large enough, it enables a new kind of cooperation that was impossible before, such as shared economy, or collaborating on mega projects like the Hadron Collider or the International Space Station. It is possible to use technology to restore the benefits of trust. After all, I'm pretty sure many of you have stayed at an Airbnb or used Uber, or may have even gone on a Tinder date, trusting complete strangers online. Technology doesn't have to undermine the trust. It can actually improve it. And I learned from my personal experience. After losing the company to betrayal, my husband and I started a new one. We even named it our family name, Davidovs, because this way we felt no one could take it from us. But I had lost trust in myself. I couldn't believe that people would give their money to us to manage, even though we had pretty good reputation on the market. So, my control freak built a system that was so transparent that it was impossible not to trust. A platform where our investors can see everything in real time. Our deals we are considering, performance, data we are analyzing. They can explore it freely by their own and even participate in decision-making. This level of transparency is not common for the VC world, where firms typically provide only curated reports. Combination of transparency and community-based approach made us efficient and brought us trust of our founders and investors. It allows us to operate as a collective, investing in more startups and providing even more help than a typical VC firm of our size. So we notice that emerging technology can actually enable transparency, cohesion, and new value creation. And it can also start to build trust on a societal level. But how? We can use AI and decentralized systems to improve economic efficiency. Online platforms allow us to create communities and reputation. Companies like LinkedIn uses AI to suggest you people you may know or want to connect these based on previous jobs, on existing network, or even your skills. Many banks and financial apps like PayPal use AI-powered facial recognition to validate user identity and prevent fraud. Twitter and Meta use AI tools to spot bots, fake news, manipulated videos and images to fight misinformation. Companies like Perplexity AI consistently provide accurate and well-cited answers. It'll enable more efficient knowledge discovery and research. I can actually go on and on because we are living in an incredible time of technological growth, with AI leading the way. Yet, with all the progress, many of us still struggle with trust. 10 years ago, my family moved to the Silicon Valley. I had it all figured out. My inner control freak had the perfect plan: what to do and how to live. But my life actually had other plans. We lost our company, and I lost trust and friendship. Went through miscarriages and lost trust in my body. My perfect plan didn't work. What did my inner control freak? He convinced me to attend 10 days Vipassana. I isolated from all distractions to make a better plan. What a brilliant idea. Yet, I emerged from those 10 days of silence without a plan. Instead, I gained something more valuable: understanding that I was ready to break free from the prison of control. Understanding that I no longer needed to fear uncertainty or plan obsessively. I can trust myself now. What does it mean? It means that I have enough knowledge, experience, and the support of those I open up to. With tools like these, I can handle whatever life throws my way. My journey evolved from trust issues to trust benefits, because I was able to put trust as a strategy in my life and in my investments. I understand that someone can abuse my trust. Someone probably will abuse my trust. But I trust that the benefits of being open are going to outweigh the losses. And we can always expel the perpetrators from our tribe or eat them. I challenge all of you now. Take 2 steps forward in your journey of trust. Please trust yourselves and trust others. Thank you.